Are you gonna bug me? You gonna be a cat in the video? Hi. Ignore that dog, okay? He's not gonna hurt you. It's true. Hello, my name is Jeremy. This is Red Means Recording, and today I want to talk about a new music release that me and the people on my Discord collaborated on. One of my Discord members wanted the stems for a track off my last album, Object Permanence, called Through the Dark. It's the last track on the album. And when I went through the process of creating the stems, I thought, hey, why not throw these up onto the Discord for anyone to use? And it sort of turned into a remix project where 6 or 7 people ended up making tracks. And we decided to release it on Bandcamp for free. And it's on there right now. So go get it if you want. If you want to hear me sing the same song a bunch of times in a row with different music underneath, now's your chance. Because they put so much hard work into this, because the quality level of these mixes are so high, I thought it'd be cool to do a little video talking about what their process was and give you a little taste of the EP in case you want to hear it. And yeah, we're gonna do that. A little history with the song before we get into this. Through the Dark was written while my partner Brian's mom was dealing with treatment for cancer. She found out very late into the game, stage 4, that she had colon cancer, and she didn't recover from it. She passed last year, and through the process, she was an incredibly strong person and just displayed the most amazing positive attitude throughout, loving, positive, just the best person that I've ever seen anyone be, especially under the circumstances. And Object Permanence is actually dedicated to her, Barbara Martin. So it's a bit of a it's a bit of a thing to give these lyrics to give these stems to other people and have them do something with it. And I think all of them did an amazing job understanding the source material, even if they didn't know the story behind it, and doing something that just brought it to a whole nother level. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the EP and read off some of the things that the producers that made these tracks did to make these awesome remixes. The first mix that we have here is by Rehearsal, and they did this bang-up job of turning it into this really cool, multifaceted, sort of future-based track. Here's what they have to say about it. They arranged and in some parts reharmonized for their own variation, but to still play off and support the lyrical content, and for the most part maintain smooth and emotional mood. Also to introduce more energy over time. So you'll hear that they do a lot of reprocessing of the vocals and stuff like that, which is really cool. The vocal chop effects, starting with whole lead vox introduced via arpeggiator to granulator 2 with a short grain size, long spray, a wide spread, and modulated flux, resampled and heavily edited to create swarms and complementary melodies. Now that's a really cool idea. Taking the Max for Live device Granulator 2 and using it as a effect sample source and just resampling a bunch of interesting little bits of it. That's a great idea. They created timbre and intensity modulation in quarter elements by rhythmically automating operator levels in Operator. Operator is Ableton's FM synth, and it's actually incredibly powerful. A lot of people might go to Ableton's Analog as their first synth to start making sounds, but a lot of people I know that are interested in sound design go to Operator first, and it's ace. Drums are a mix of their own design, 808 snares, breakbeat, DIY, so no copyright infringement. Thank you, bless. And processing the original drums through a highly modulated chain of time and spectral effects and editing the output. This is a great info dump in general, just not necessarily having everything that you make in Ableton or your DAW being the final thing, sampling it and then recontextualizing it to get more complex and more finer control over its output. I love that idea. It's awesome. And then they wanted to finish with an active and fun section that could bring a playful quality and pick up the position sentiments in the chorus lyric. And they did. The last section is what I sort of skipped to first, and it's fucking ace. It's so good. There's a reason that this remix is first in the EP order. It's just because it really catches your ear, and it's just fantastic. Great job. All of these people's individual SoundClouds and accounts, if you want to go follow them individually, will be in the video description. So please go check them out. All of these people are incredibly talented and in some cases relatively unknown. And I think they all deserve more attention because their music's really, really good.
When the lights start to fade.
Next up is the Osk remix. This one is second because it's sort of a little bit more traditional to the original one, but again adds just like a whole new twist on the interpretation of the musicality of the piece. So they say they really wanted to do something that was a little softer like the original track, and so they really started with pads and captured the feeling of loss and worry, but also a bittersweet happiness when we recall memories of moments that we shared with those we love. That's exactly it. You nailed it. I really wanted to do something beautiful that captured the feeling of the original track, so I tried to work with soft sounds. I'm most proud of the section at 2 minutes and 40 seconds in when everything calms down and goes into a slightly melancholy section before going into the next section.
To see her this way. So hear her voice.
Where the lead matches the melody of the vocals to bring a sense of togetherness to fit with the lyric, and together we can find a way through the dark. And yeah, Osk, you did an amazing job reinterpreting this and really feeling what is going on with this track and making it your own while staying true to the original vibe. And I think that's what I love most about these remixes is the understanding and then reinterpretation. It's really fantastic. So we had a really sort of like poppy, like really dead-on remix with some amazing sound design. Then we had a more traditional and softer remix, which still added its own elements. And then next up we have Joe CS's remix, which took me by surprise. I started it off, I didn't really know where it was going, and then like when it finally kicks in, I'm like, holy shit, this is like pure Postal Service. This is beautiful. Like you took it to a new tempo, you just all these new ideas. This is like you've made a new song of it in a really amazing way, and I was just blown away. So he says he was planning on doing an ambient or down-tempo remix based mostly on the Canadian Boards track, but when I was messing with the rest of the stems, I doubled the tempo of one of the hi-hat and snare tracks, and once I heard that, I knew I had to try some D&B. My favorite part of working on this remix was rearranging and manipulating all the vocals for the drops. It's just so cool, Joe. Like, it lifts me up. It gives me goosebumps when things actually kick in, and it just, yeah, I love it. It's such a cool reinterpretation. Thank you so much for your work on this. It's really, really good. Next up is a remix by Pulse Reset. And they say, I really did not know where I was going when I started out. So I went with what I know best, I guess, pushing my little Microkorg and Minilog XD to its limits. I am in love with making presets for my machines, and this gave me an opportunity to start from scratch and work with what the vocals had to offer. In my mind, I saw an overexposed Polaroid that had seen better days, a quick glimpse into the past that comes and fades like this summer rain, all the good and the bad. Shaped my sounds around this picture imagined. As for the process, pretty straightforward. Shape a sound, hit record, then see what happens. I recorded into FL Studio 2.0, then post-added some vocal octaves down to give them a nostalgic feel and help push them through the ambience. Because, well, I love me some Verb. I love me some Verb, too. Put it on everything. Put reverb on the cat. This is a really fantastic mix, and it's a really great one to have after Joe's. I think they complement each other really, really well. Amazing work, dude. Next up is Foxhunt's mix. I have worked with Foxhunt a little bit on some channel content for like a Peak video, and he's a very talented and prolific composer. He has a new album out that came out earlier this year, I think maybe January. It feels like a billion years ago. Thanks, Corona. So I think he might have been the first one to submit his remix, and he just took it in this awesome neuro D&B kind of thing. There's probably a name for this. I don't fucking know. I'm really bad with genres. wanted to do a more fast-paced version, but still keep the chill vibe of the original, so I used some soft neuro basses and a lot of isotope vocal synth for some neat vocal processing. And of course, the Novation Peak made an appearance as a few of the basses. And yeah, it's just this big, warm, like fast-paced but still chill neuro drum and bass track that it's got a lot of really good energy to it, and it just rolls right along just like a good D&B track should. So hell yeah, Foxhunt, really, really good job. Next up, we have a remix by Kumie. Kumie. This, again, is a little bit more of a traditional remix compared to Foxhunt's, but that's why it's after Foxhunt's, because with this EP, where, you know, it's almost the same song over and over again, you know, you want to still keep an ebb and flow of listener interest. So this was a great one to put after Foxhunt's mix. And they say that they love the bass part in the original, but I felt like I had to do something, so I sliced and rearranged to make a new accent pattern. After the first chorus, I replaced that with a dirtier version made with the circuit mono station. Drums are from my Volcadrum and PO12, except the epic toms, which came from Reason. As for the feel of the song, I didn't realize it until halfway through making the remix, but something about the line "never seen a winter like this" really stood out for me.
Winter like this. I'll be a faded tattoo. I'll be a morning after.
I kept on thinking of standing on a frozen plain and maybe tried to evoke that a little with the strings. I love that. I love that, you know, there's sound, there's lyrical content, and there's just a lot of ways that a piece of music can move you or affect you, and we all pick up on things a little bit differently, and that doesn't necessarily mean that the artist didn't intend that, but we are all going to relate to music in a slightly different way, and I think that's the beauty of this project, is that we get to see how everybody relates to the same original content in their own personal way. And I love this remix. It's absolutely beautiful. So thank you so much, Kumie. Kumie. And finally, we end with Takeout's mix. Takeout had a really interesting take on this. Takeout. Kumie? And I thought it was a really appropriate final track. They really don't use a lot of the original song in its form that would be recognized. And I think that's really, really cool, especially at the very end of the track. It's kind of like a little surprise. So let's see what they have to say about it.
Well, can you please not pull away?
I make mostly ambient music, and I find that I'm more interested in sound design than composition, probably because I don't have much of a background in music theory or composition. To that end, every sound I use is directly from the stems, just processed with Ableton effects. I wanted something quiet and simple for the opening, so the first few sounds are all odd-length loops. The strings is a 4-bar loop, but the time-stretched ARP is a 6-bar loop. That's actually really cool. The ARP and strings are both minimally processed, just reverb and a filter cutting off high end. Since most of my music is not very drum or percussion focused, I really wanted to do something big and booming. Listening to the stems, I love the original drum patterns where I literally just looped and threw a beat repeat effect on it with some pretty liberal compression. That's fine with me. It sounds amazing. I think the whole piece came together when I found the piano acoustic guitar stem. It added a lot of texture to the second section, the drum section, and helped kind of give it a different character. Fun fact about that, it's actually one instrument. It's Native Instruments' Noir contact instrument, and it's got a particle engine that creates particles around the chords that you're playing on the bass piano sound. So that gentle strum sound is actually being generated in sort of like a chord rhythm generator cloud effect to the chords that you play on the main piano. And it's a really cool plugin. I keep on coming back to it. Lastly, I almost never deal with vocals, so I kind of had no idea what to do with these. After realizing I didn't include them all, I wanted to do a little bon ivoire denouement kind of thing, which is just a couple of vocal lines tripled with one copy pitched up and another pitched down by 7 semitones. And that's pretty much it. And that's one of the things I love about it. It just kind of like comes out at the end, and it's very bon ivoire. It's fantastic. I love it a lot. Thank you, everybody who contributed to this. All of your unique perspectives and incredible musical talent have made this a real treat to do. I think we're going to continue to do various remix projects in the Discord. because we have a lot of talent in there, and people's original tracks are great too. So yeah, if you'd like to join the Discord and participate in this stuff, it's like the lowest tier Patreon reward. So if that's your thing, come on over. Check out the links in the description, which include the link to this on Bandcamp and all of these amazing musicians, individual SoundCloud and social links. They'll likely be posting the individual mix to SoundCloud and stuff like that, but Bandcamp, you'll be able to get the highest quality download if that's your thing. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. My name is Jeremy. This is Red Beans Recording, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Winter like this. I'll be a faded tattoo. I'll be your morning after. I'll be the lamplight. All the years of love and laughter. You'll be the ship that sails at dawn, starting a brand new chapter. And together